Welcome to a beautiful, sunny, almost summer day here in Southern Ontario, where I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons why an old beater WRX like this one here makes a great car. So the first reason, let's just get right to it, it's the performance. That's one of the biggest reasons why you'd even buy one of these in the first place. So we've got a 2-liter turbocharged flat 4. When new, it would have had 227 horsepower and was often quoted with a 0 to 100 time of between 5.4 to 5.9 seconds. It's still got plenty of power, even though we're 224,000 kilometers in, and we've probably got a few less horses in the barn than there used to be. But it's still, it's fast enough for what I need, and it's still lots of fun. Pulls decently hard too. One thing I think that is a little bit overlooked on these cars is the handling. They actually handle really well. The short wheelbase combined with the all-wheel drive means you can just throw it into a corner and it'll take it. It'll go. It loves it. Like you can just throw it into a corner. All-wheel drive pulls you out with ease. It feels nimble. It feels planted through these tight corners. It feels a whole bunch of other cliche words that journalists use to describe a car's handling. It just takes it. The second reason, and also one of the big reasons why you'd buy one of these in the first place, is of course the all-wheel drive. So you have full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive and a limited slip center diff, which means the torque is evenly distributed to all 4 wheels, unlike some of these new crossovers which just send torque to one wheel and it just spins when they're stuck and they don't go anywhere at all. You don't have that in this at all. It's really good in the snow, a lot of fun, very effective. I've plowed roads in this car, not intentionally, but that's just how deep the snow has been at times. I've had it like up to the bumper. I can hear the snow scraping on the bottom of the car and it just goes effortlessly. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of hard to show that now because it's June. But we'll see if I can maybe find a bit of gravel or something and like do a thing. Woo! There we go, see? If this was front wheel drive, I'd still be back there spinning my wheels. And if this was rear wheel drive, I'd be trying to figure out how to extract myself from this marsh. So the third reason for buying one of these may come as a little bit of a surprise to you, and that is it's actually not as expensive as you may think. Buying a clean, low mileage example is going to cost you, but an old beater like this, with a lot of cosmetic defects, you can pick one up for just a few $1,000s. And they don't cost that much to run either, despite what the internet will tell you. Maintenance costs aren't all that high, parts are generally cheap, and they're actually not as unreliable as many of the YouTube comments and forums and things like that will tell you. Especially these old 2-liters, in the old Bug Eyes and then the Blob Eyes. In 2006 for the Hawkeyes they changed to a 2.5 liter, which wasn't as good but still not the worst thing in the world. But these old 2-liters are known to be pretty much bulletproof, as long as you stay relatively stock. I've owned this car for 2 years now, and other than basic maintenance and a couple wear items like the brakes or the belt, I haven't had any like reliability issues with it at all. The only actual issue I had with it was a fuel leak, which came from a kind of hose connector thing underneath the car that goes into the fuel tank. And it was fairly cheap to fix. And other than that, I've had no issues. It's been running great for all these 2 years I've owned it. Hang on, I've got to go find some wood to knock on. Okay, it should be good. And as for insurance, well, that kind of varies depending on multiple factors. But for me, it's actually been pretty good. I pay less than $200 a month for this. I'm 23, I'm single, I'm male, I live in the city, and that's for a legit performance car. That's a pretty good bargain. So reason number 4 is the community. Now, a lot of cars have strong fan bases and good online communities, but Subarus in particular have a huge, almost cult-like following, especially here in Canada. In Canada, we love our Subarus, and at least we like to think that our Subarus love us. There's almost an unlimited amount of online forums and websites and Facebook buy and sell groups and things like that, where you can find all the parts you'll ever need, answers to all of your questions, and advice for your builds. And all the people you meet along the way are always helpful and really good people in general. Before owning this, I had a Civic Si, which was a great car, but a lot of the Honda people I met were generally a bit sketchy. Not saying they all are, but just seems all the ones I encountered seem to be. They all wore their hats in unconventional ways, and they'd always try to either race you or just rip you off. In the Subaru, when I pass another WRX on the road, which around here is quite often, they'll always give a bit of a wave, just like bikers do. I never had that in the Civic. So reason number 5 is, of course, this legendary sound that these flat 4s make. You can't do a video like this and not talk about the classic Subaru rumble. That right there. Every time you start it up, you just... sorry, had to interrupt myself. Every time you start it up, you just feel like Colin McRae or Peter Solberg or Richard Burns, or ready to attack the rally stage of your daily commute. Okay, it does at times sound a little bit like a whoopee cushion, but everybody loves whoopee cushions, and it's not for their looks. Think about that. And it also sounds a lot better than other similar cars. The Evo, for example, does an excellent imitation of a washing machine with the occasional firecracker. A Golf R sounds like, well, a Golf. Even if you don't like it, you have to admit, nothing else sounds like a Subaru. So, that was 5 reasons why you should drop everything and buy an old beater WRX like this. I've also got a video explaining 5 reasons why you should pick everything back up again and just forget about the idea entirely. So make sure you check that out as well. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you very much for watching.